I'm going to now share my recording that I have done in London. You are going to hear Kokopelli, as Andrea said, by Katherine Hoover. Katherine Hoover was a wonderful flautist and composer who has taught at the Manhattan School of Music as well as the Juilliard Preschool, and she was a flutist herself, so she composed a lot for the flute. And this is the pieces that I first heard when I lived in the US. I lived in the US for a year when I was 14, 15. My mother was a guest researcher at Stanford, and so we lived in Palo Alto for a year. And for some reason, this piece made I'm going to get back to that after the performance, why this piece actually made a really um, uh, strong impression on me. But let me first share the recording, and please listen to this wonderful piece, and I'll tell you a little more about my personal connections to it. I'm going to use all my knowledge that I learned from Gerardo. So hopefully it will all go very smoothly, and you'll see my screen. Meanwhile, while for some reason the video is loading a little bit longer, then I'm going to tell a bit about my personal connection. So I feel you'll hear, I think this piece shows the sound of the flute in so many different colors. And Kokopelli was a great Hopi who has led the migrations with the sound of his flute. And in these times of isolation, I have thought a lot about these capacities of the flute, which I find very special, and I hope you'll hear that in the performance as well. So thank you so much for the comment.
Sehr schön, sehr schön. Vielen Dank. Gorgeous.
Thank you so much. And I saw some of you commented on the space. So this is a wonderful space of Florian Leonhardt, a violin maker, and he lives very close to me. And I just wanted to get as close as possible to a live performance and create for you the atmosphere of a concert hall. So I'm really thankful that I was able to record there. Also, Andrea, I just wanted to point out I'm originally from Budapest, and for me it was just lovely to see this connection of the Salon and Zalon edition, because in Hungarian that's exactly how we spell Salon. So that made me feel very much at home. I know this is now a completely online edition, but still, I just wanted to share that little personal note for you to know. Thank you, everyone, so much. One last thing I wanted to add. So I just feel that for me, the sound of the flute was something that captured my love for this instrument. And it's always wonderful to play pieces which connect to this even this spirituality of the instrument that I think is very much there and very much palpable when you hear the flute. So that's something that really was very meaningful to me when I first heard this piece, and I'm really happy to perform it whenever and wherever. I now give back to Andrea, and thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to hearing all the other performers.
Thank you so much, Noemi Gyori, everybody. That you should read the chat because you have many new fans. I just
I'm
want
going to
to
answer.
say that the composition and the performance were filled with such a wide range of color, dynamics, and literal range of the flute, and performed with exquisite artistry. So bravo, brava.
Thank
Noemi.
you.
Thank you again for staying up so late. It's probably 1 or 2 in the morning now, so very happy that you're with us, and I understand you may not be able to stay until the very end, but if you can, we'd love to chat with you more. Thank you again. So I'm not sure if Young-Ah has her microphone working. I understand that there was a technical difficulty there. So I'm going to move on at tech, if that's all right, with Bill Kanengiser. And before we, yes?
We couldn't get it to work. I think Young-Ah has like somewhere to be. So if she can go next.
She can? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
All right, great. Thank you so much. These things happen, you know, we get used to just, you know, being in the flow of things in the Zoom universe. So our next performer was supposed to perform first, and she is just an amazing pianist. Her name is Young-Ah Tak, and she's performing from the in Potsdam, the SUNY campus at Snell Recital Hall. Young-Ah Tak. Hi.
Hi,
I'm going to brag about you.
I had a Yeti microphone, but somehow all of a sudden it was not recognized on the audio setting. So we tried everything, but it's not recognizing. So this microphone is my MacBook Pro, but I think you can hear me okay. So it's not going to be as good as the microphone, but hopefully you'll hear me fine in the music. So.
Yeah, it sounds okay. You know, it's interesting. That happened with me tonight too. So I don't know if it's in the new Zoom. But in any case, I would just like to let the audience know about some of your wonderful background, praised for her winning combination of passion, imagination, and integrity, says the New York Concert Review. Pianist Young-Ah Tak enjoys an exceptional career that's taken her all over the US, Canada, Europe, and Asia. Young-Ah made her New York debut at Lincoln Center's Alice Tully Hall with the Juilliard Orchestra. Since then, she's performed with numerous orchestras internationally, including her native Korea. She serves as an associate professor of piano and head of the piano area at the Crane School of Music in SUNY Potsdam, and she's a Steinway artist. Young-Ah will be performing Beethoven's 6 variations based on a theme from an aria by the Italian composer Giovanni Paisiello. She's performing from the Snell Recital Hall, and let's give her a very warm welcome. Young-Ah Tak.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Bravo, Young-Ah. How elegant and just beautiful. Thank you so, so much. Can you tell the audience where they can find your All Beethoven CD that you just released?
Oh, yes. Yes, if you go to Steinway, I can, if that's okay, I can
You can
do
put
the
the link
link.
in the chat.
Yeah, I have somebody, the reason I have it right here is somebody happens to be asking the other day, and I was gonna write an email back, and then it's on my draft. So yes, if you go here, you can read about it, listen to sample, and then some reviews, and they tell you where you can go to.
Thank you so
Sorry, I
much.
didn't mean to like shamelessly just
You
talk
know,
about my CDs, but since you asked.
yeah, well, that's my job. And I want everybody to be able to follow you and support you because you're such an amazing artist and
Oh, thank you.
person. So wonderful to have you.
Thank you so much. This piece actually is not on that CD. I have another short piece by Beethoven with all the sonatas, Rondo. But this piece is actually relatively new to me. I've never performed in public. So this is a first performance of mine. I was quite nervous. But I just fell in love listening to this first time. And I was like, I have to learn this piece. Such a charming, small piece. Beethoven was, what, 24? And he heard Paisiello's opera, obviously, and this opera was 1788. So he was a young man, and I think he was just inspired by this very simple, elegant theme. And then he just wrote this 6 small variations. But I think the emphasis throughout is on the vocal line. So he's trying to stay very true to that vocal work. But very creative, and left hand, right hand, exchanging and making the vocal work. And I think it's really beautiful and so charming. So
Yeah, it's like a precious gem of the repertoire. Well, thank you for exposing us all to it. And if you can stay on, I know it's a long night for you, but if you can, or if you have to relocate back to your studio.
yeah, I might have to relocate because of the hall, but I will definitely stay on
We'd
later.
love to talk
Yes.
to you more. Young-Ah,
Yes,
thank
of
you
course.
so much. Young-Ah Tak, everybody.
Thank you so much. I always enjoy being here. Thank you so much.
Wonderful to have you. So everyone, just a reminder, because I don't mind making shameless plugs for all of you to donate to the performers. It's a really rough time since COVID started. Very difficult for the venues to stay open and for performers to have work. And so every little bit counts. You can make a simple tax-deductible donation to support the performers. And that link is in the chat and also on the website, zalonarts.org. And also there's another link that you'll see in the chat, and that's our artist page where you can learn more about these artists and how else you can support and follow them. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a phenomenal guitar player, William Kanengiser, and a new friend and simply wonderful human being who will be giving tonight the official or unofficial online premiere of a new piece that he commissioned for me. And it's so lovely to be able to have him here and to have our work birthed essentially in front of all of you in this wonderful, warm community. William Kanengiser has forged a career that expands the possibilities of the classical guitar, a prize winner in major competitions. He's toured throughout North America, Asia, and Europe, a member of the guitar faculty at USC, and a founding member of the Los Angeles Guitar Quartet. Bill has given hundreds of recitals and concerto appearances around the world. He's recorded over a dozen releases. His quartet won a Grammy with their CD LAGQ Guitar Heroes, as the Best Classical Crossover, and they're currently nominated for another Grammy for their disc, The Singing Guitar with Conspirare Choir. Bill's Diaspora project commissioned 7 new works for guitar that focuses on issues of migration and assimilation. He writes, as a truly universal instrument, the guitar is particularly well suited to evoke a wide range of styles, imitating some of its plucked string cousins from around the world. Each composer will bring their own unique perspective to a particular cultural tradition and will use the guitar to explore their feelings of the diaspora experience. And I'm honored to be one of those composers. My piece, Reflections on the Dramyen, is inspired by the Tibetan guitar, the Dramyen, and a Tibetan Garlu song that I recorded with Tashi Tsering, the last of the royal court singers of Lomantang, Nepal, who has recently just passed away. And all of his repertoire, an anthropologist and I documented. And during that documentation of the Tibetan music in the Himalayas, I was really influenced by the sounds that I heard and the people that I met and the instruments and the wind and the vastness of being on the top of the world and just the beautiful and rich spiritual Tibetan culture. This work will have its online premiere tonight and its world premiere in Washington, D.C. on May 22nd. I'm going to let Bill tell you more, but first, let's give William Kanengiser a very warm welcome to the Zalon stage, performing from his home in Whittier, California. Here's Bill.
Thank you, Andrea. And this really is an exciting moment. We've been collaborating on this piece for some time, and we got to meet in person in LA in the fall, and then Zoom sessions, and we're even making little changes even this week, but all in the service of paying homage to this tradition, this musical tradition, and specifically this instrument, which is sort of at the soul of Tibetan music, the Dramyen, and it's a sort of a distant cousin of the guitar. And I think the piece quotes this song, but Andrea was able to do it so poetically and go in many different directions. And my job is to essentially not sound like a classical guitarist, but to sound as authentically Tibetan as I can. So I'll using quite a few unusual techniques. But here we go. This is Reflections on the Dramyen.
Wow. How beautiful is that?
Bravo.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank you so much. What a journey.
What a
Very good.
Bravo.
Stand up, Andrea. Take a bow.
Andrea.
Thank you, Bill, so much. It's just, there's nothing like it as a composer to be able to work with such a great artist. And, Bill contributed to the piece. He had wonderful ideas and we really worked together. So thank you so much for this. And for all of you listening, this piece is a reflection on my experience documenting Tibetan music in the Himalayas. And there's some Dramyen, references. You can look up the instrument. And there's also references to a song about the Dramyen that Tashi Tsering sang to me. And then also my personal feelings about that journey and the compassion I felt working with people there in this area of Lomantang, Nepal, very close to the border of Tibet. So this is a very special evening. Bill, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And do stay on if you can so we can chat with you more. Thanks. Isn't he amazing? Our next performer is new to the virtual Zalon stage, but not new to the Salon community. I'm really happy to welcome back after how many years? Probably 10.
At least 10, yeah.
Super talented Suzie Brown. Those of you who have been coming to my home know Suzie, and she has just escalated to a, internationally known folk pop songwriter. Since she was last here, she was well on her way, but she's gotten so many wonderful accolades, and I'm just thrilled that she made time in her busy schedule for us tonight. Suzie Brown has chased her unique muse for a decade, making modern day roots music that nods to soul, rockers, and blues artists. Suzie is not only an acclaimed musician, but also an advanced heart failure cardiologist and the mother of two, truly a woman of valor. Her songs have earned recognition from the New Song Music Competition, International Songwriting Competition, Independent Music Awards and Forbes magazine, on an episode of CBS This Morning, which I recommend that you watch because it's really just such a beautiful episode. Journalist Gail King says, "I love everything about you, Suzie. You're wearing a lot of hats and you're wearing them all well." So watch the special if you can. Suzie performed live at my salon years ago, and it's very special to have you back. And she is performing with her husband, Scot Sax, from Nashville, Tennessee. Let's give it up for Suzie Brown, Scot Sax.
Thank you. Bikini's on, but it ain't quite summer. Too late for lunch, too early for dinner. Sitting on your porch, but nobody's home, wearing shoes that I've outgrown. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost where I wanna be. It's almost here. It's almost here. It's oh so near, but out of reach. Running in circles, running in squares, running into people, running into chairs. They ask me questions, tell me what's new. Oh, I'm just waiting for my dreams to come true. How about you? I'm almost there. I'm almost where I wanna be. It's almost here. It's almost here. It's oh so near, but out of reach. Hopes and aspirations call for inspiration, perspiration, just add frustration, and by my calculation, you'll be almost there, almost there, almost where I wanna be. It's almost here. It's almost here. It's oh so near, but out of reach. Thank you. That one was called Almost There. And Scott and I wrote that one together at our house in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. That was on my third album. And I wrote that sort of while I was in the throes of my transition from full-time medicine to medicine plus music. We're going to play two more songs for you. This next one is called Another New Normal. I released it last March. I released it in a hurry because it was written sort of about the pandemic, and I wanted to release it before it became irrelevant.
Still not irrelevant.
Yeah, it turns out I had plenty of time.
Yes.
But this one is going to be on my new album, which is my 7th studio album coming out in May. It's called Another New Normal. I wrote it in a stolen moment between trying to homeschool my 2 kids. I snuck into the bedroom and wrote this one. I ain't the praying type, but lately I've been praying to whatever's in the sky. I ain't the changing type, but times they keep on changing. I'm always a step behind. I've been trying to get used to a new normal. Feels like I always am. Just when I can't get used to a new normal, everything changes all over again. Another new normal. You can't pick and choose the things you can't take with you. Time has a mind that's all her own. She could take it all away, she could kiss you. Send your sorrows on down the road. I've been trying to get used to a new normal. Feels like I always am. Just when I can't get used to a new normal, everything changes all over again. If it ain't one thing, it's something else. Ain't life just hellos and farewells? I've been trying to get used to a new normal. Just another new normal. Thank you so much. I want to take one moment to introduce one of our bandmates who you can't see, and that's the Soul Shoe.
Yeah.
This is Scott's invention. It's an old boot that he attached a bunch of percussion to, and he uses it at shows, and I just love it. I thought you would too.
Yeah, Chloe, our 6-year-old, named it, and so it shall live
So it
on
shall
forever.
remain.
Yeah,
The Soul Shoe. Well, thank you so much, Andrea, again for having us. We're just going to close it out with a short little ditty called Good Everything. Scott and I were on vacation one day, and I think I said good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good evening. And then here came the song. Thanks so much, and have a great night. Enjoy all these wonderful musicians. It's such a treat. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
If I'm not with you, where would I be? Only you can see the good in me. Yeah.
I'm feeling your loving and the good it brings. Good morning, good evening, good everything. Good morning, good evening, good everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Excellent.
So much love and so much joy. We're just so happy to have you with us. And Suzie, you are amazing. People are saying, what do you do in your spare time? But maybe stay on at the
I
end.
stare at a wall. I catch moments, so I have a free moment. I just sit there and stare at the wall.
Well, you know, these songs, there was a beautiful trio, and I love that you spoke to our experience of the new normal. You know, people were saying this is our theme song today.
Aw. Well, I have a whole album of those pandemic songs
Yeah, if you
coming
like
your
that.
way in May. If you
Yeah.
like, it's like at the video store. If you like this, try this.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots. I mean, thank God for music. I don't know that I would have made it through these last 2 years between how stressful work has been and how stressful it is to have young kids who weren't vaccinated for a while. If it hadn't been for making this album, I don't know what I would have done. So yay for music.
And yay for you. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Stay on if you can. We'd love to talk to you a little more. So everybody, you can donate to these wonderful performers like Suzie and Scott by making a simple tax-deductible donation using the link in the chat and on the website. Every little bit helps, especially now when venues have closed once again. It gives me great pleasure to welcome back a very special performer, pianist, bandoneonist, and accordionist, musician extraordinaire, Shinju Cho. Shinju is a solo and chamber musician embodying many musical traditions. She's collaborated with international musicians and choreographers, and she's performed in prestigious concert halls throughout the US, Canada, Korea, and South America. Notable performances include guest soloist with the Cleveland Orchestra, solo pianist for the President of Argentina, and performing with Branford Marsalis Quartet. Shinju is currently director of the Contemporary and Tango Music Ensemble Oscuro Quintet and a member of Aces of Rhythm in New York. It's wonderful to welcome back Shinju to the Zalon. She'll perform from her home studio in Fishtown, Philadelphia. Join me in giving a warm welcome to Shinju Cho.
Hello. I want to thank everyone for making and continuously making this happen. I was actually quite excited to be in the physical Zalon, which has been many years, and I believe that we will one day, very soon. In the program that I've shared with Andrea and a couple months ago, the plan was for me to be joined by by a guitarist who recently moved from Buenos Aires to New York. We have a guitar bandoneon duo, and the COVID complications made it a little bit tricky for him to travel, and we wanted to be prudent. So I am pivoting to all solo repertoire tonight. It's just 2 pieces, however. For those of you who did not have seen this instrument before or did not learn about it last time, it is called bandoneon. It's a wind instrument in a way. It's a reed instrument. So it belongs in the family of concertina and accordion, and it's shaped quite differently, and the button layout and the function and the mechanics are different. It was invented in Germany, crossed the waters over to Argentina and the New World when there was an en masse migration, and it has become, the symbolic and one of the leading voices of tango music. So it is primarily played in tango music, which is what I do primarily now. And the first piece I would like to play for you is not coming from Argentina, and it's not coming from a tango tradition. It is a piece called Morning Dew, composed by a Korean popular music writer, Min-gi Kim. The title in Korean is actually called Achim Isil, which translates to Morning Dew, and it was composed in 1971. And it has become a huge hit for people seeking togetherness and democracy, and almost become known as a protest song. And it was popularized by a female singer, Hyun Yang, who has really delivered the song to people yearning for resilience, fighting for their place in the world. And this was big in Korea when Korea was going through a people's dictatorship and on its path to more mature democracy. And I was only a tween, they say, pre-teenager, but this song has made quite an impression on me, and has become really sort of an anthem for people who are coming together for social causes and for a better future. And I have initially arranged this for a guitarist, cellist, who has played here at Zalon before, Kinan Abu Afash. He and I played this as a duo, and since then have modified it as a solo. This is meaningful for me in anticipation of a very important town hall meeting, which is coming up in Philadelphia, a project that I'm involved in to erect a monument and build a brand new public space in Queen Village, Philadelphia, to commemorate the 200,000 plus women and girls who perished and who were sexual slaves during the World War II. So we are working on creating this space and to engage in a dialogue that has a difficult conversation for her to heal and move on. So this song felt very apt for me as I'm looking forward to having this first virtual town hall hosted by the city of Philadelphia. So I hope you enjoy. So next piece is going to be the man himself. Some of you might be familiar with Astor Piazzolla's name. The man and composer, bandoneonist, and band leader who really brought tango back to its renaissance and back to the world, and made sure that the new direction of his music, meeting tango, jazz, and classical music, got to shine its light at not only tango bars and cafes all over Argentina and the world, but also concert halls. His achievement is quite singular, and he composed for so many different ensembles, and but it's not very well known that he composed a lot of solo music for bandoneon, which was his primary instrument. And he, for some time, as many musicians do, to really supplement your income, he was writing original music for film and other commercial projects. And this piece that I'm about to play that he composed and he arranged for bandoneon is called Con el cielo en los manos, with the sky in your hands, in the hands. And he wrote this for a film that was commissioned. And without further ado, I would like to play for you. It shows not only his composition voice, but his voice specific to the way he shines on his primary instrument, bandoneon.
Bravo, Shinju. Bravo. Such beautiful, sensitive, passionate playing. It really transported me, and I'm sure many of you out there, I can see some of the responses as people are writing on the chat. Thank you also for giving us background on the instrument and for playing two very sensitively performed pieces. Shinju, you're just a marvel. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'd love to talk to you more afterwards, so if you can stay on, I'm sure people will have questions. And I know I said this last time, but one of the things that I'm struck by with the bandoneon is the feeling of breath. You know, that it creates this space of breathing and the air inside and outside, you know, that gives it this emotional quality. You know, it's like you're the singer.
Yeah, that's been the biggest happiness and challenge for me, coming from a percussive piano playing to a breathing singing instrument, and on my body, sort of, you know, heaving with me. So that's still a big transformation being made, and I feel really, I don't know, it's a different intimacy with your instrument.
We can feel it. You embody the instrument, and the instrument embodies you. It's really quite remarkable, and we've all been very, very moved by your performance. Thank you, Shinju.
Thank you.
Hope to have you back in my home again soon. So everyone, that was Shinju Cho. And a quick reminder that you can make donations to these wonderful performers. The link is in the chat and it's tax deductible. People often ask me how I find the performers for the salon, and often it's through my own involvement in the music scene as a composer and pianist. Sometimes I'll hear something that floors me, and that is how I was introduced to our next performer. I heard a piece online by Lithuanian composer Zibuokle Martinaityte. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, so Karen's going to correct me. That was so beautiful and evocative that I contacted her and asked if she might present the piece on my salon. She loved the idea, but she wasn't available herself. So she introduced me to a great violinist, Karen Bentley Pollick, one of America's leading contemporary musicians who plays her music. Karen Bentley Pollick performs a wide range of solo repertoire and styles on violin, viola, piano, and Norwegian Hardanger fiddle to extend the boundaries of the concert experience from the Baroque to cutting-edge contemporary music and live improvisations. Karen holds bachelor's and master's degrees from Indiana University, and she currently serves as concertmaster of Valse Cafe Orchestra in Seattle and principal second violin and festival artist with the Colorado Mahler Fest Orchestra in Boulder. Please check out our artist page at zalonarts.org, where you can learn much more about Karen and follow her links. Karen will perform a mother-daughter themed program from her mother's home in Seattle with her own piece, Gemini Funk. Actually, she's in Mexico. I forgot, she'll tell you. With her own piece, Gemini Funk for solo violin, a musical cryptogram based on the name Nan Bentley, and an excerpt from Kalba for solo viola. So I'm going to turn things over to Karen, who is performing for the first time at the Salon. Let's give her our warmest welcome.
Buenas noches, bienvenidos a mi casa de San Pancho, Nayarit, Mexico. I've spent most of the past 2 years in this space. In May 2020, I performed my first online concert, including the premiere of Kalba by Lithuanian composer Zibuokle Martinaityte. She divides her time between visiting her mother in Lithuania during summer composition retreats and her New York apartment, where she is currently preparing for the US premiere of her acclaimed orchestral piece, Saudade, with the New York Philharmonic in mid-February. Kalba is scored for viola, with electronic sounds depicting an imaginary evolution of language from primal glottal cracks and imitative animalistic sounds to words, sentences, and eventually a song. The last section that I will play for you now is a lullaby that Zibuokle's mother sang to her as a baby. You will hear the composer's own voice in a melancholic C minor key with sinuous viola lines. Kalba is dedicated to Zibuokle's beloved mother, who is the source of everything. My mother, Nan Bentley, graced us with her presence here during 2 holiday visits full of adventures with friends and nature. As her June 6th birthday approached in 2021, her spirit encouraged me to compose a new piece in her honor. I created a musical cryptogram with the letters of her name in solfeggio as the source of the melody and bass line, and added a variety of idiomatic virtuoso techniques. Gemini Funk captures Nan's generous, curious, and funky Gemini spirit. I premiered it in September, 1 block away from our longtime family home on Cowper Street. We are blessed to be able to channel Nan, who continues to guide, support, and love all who remember and cherish her legacy from Palo Alto to Seattle, and tonight in San Pancho.
amazing. You rock, and you also took us to these exquisite liminal spaces with Zibuokle's work. Just such a wide range of expression. I hope that you'll be able to stay on. And I also just wanted to say that I think our composer is here with us. Zibuokle, do you want to say a quick hello? If you're here, she thanked you for your performance. I'm not sure if she's still on, but.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm on.
Yes.
Camera is muted, but microphone is on. Thank you so much, Karen. You were wonderful as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah, everything worked. Yeah, and thank you, Andrea, for this opportunity to be part of this community.
Of course, your work is extraordinary, and Karen is just the most amazing performer to to be able to express what you've written. So the two of you have a kind of a perfect marriage there. And Zibuokle, I hope that you can perform and have your works performed here again. I'm a great fan of your music.
Thank you, and I hope I will be invited again in person one day.
The space is yours. And Karen, I'm sorry I missed you in Seattle, but I hope that you will also be able to come here and perform. Just remarkable work. Thank you so much. And
I wanted to also mention that blue is Zibuokle's favorite color. She has an album called Blue. So I donned my blue outfit in her honor.
We appreciate it.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, you've gotten a lot of beautiful responses on the chat, so please do check those out. And one of your friends said that Nan is smiling from ear to ear that you captured her, which is so lovely. So we'll see you at the end, hopefully, and thank you so very much. Karen Bentley Pollick, everybody.
And thank you to Gerardo and Alex for the great sound.
Mm-hmm. It was. I'm so happy to welcome back flutist Lindsay Goodman, whose performances played with conviction, praise the New York Times, have been heard across 3 continents, including Carnegie Hall, Eastman School of Music, Edinburgh Festival, Fringe, Oberlin Conservatory of Music, Google headquarters, and more. A committed advocate for living composers and electroacoustic music, Lindsay is an active commissioner of new works with 150 world premieres to her credit. Yes. She has performed as solo flutist of the Pittsburgh New Music Ensemble, is principal flutist of the West Virginia Symphony Orchestra, plays in What Is Noise New Music Ensemble, and teaches actively. Lindsay will perform exciting new works for solo flute by 2 American composers who are here with us tonight, which makes me very happy, Roger Zahab and Josh Oxford. And I'm going to let Lindsay tell you a little bit more about the pieces. Here's Lindsay performing from Pickerington, Ohio. Lindsay Goodman.
Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be sharing music with you here on the Zalon. The 2 works I'm playing are from my solo repertoire. The story to the first is that in 2012, I opened my birthday card from my dear friend, composer Roger Zahab, and a small slip of manuscript paper fell out. Just a few bars and a promise to write me a new piece. That finished work, called Suspicion of Nakedness, is less of a birthday suite and more of a birthday suit, because it was inspired by a quote inside that card. Just your suspicion of nakedness is enough to focus the mind. This is Roger Zahab's Suspicion of Nakedness. Next is Josh Oxford's Blues, which will magically transport us from our living rooms to a roaring nightclub. We're using a host of extended techniques, which are alternative methods of making sound on our traditional instruments. Through this lens, my humble flute can finally compete with the guitar, clarinet, piano, or trumpet in singing the blues. So let's take the A train and enjoy Josh Oxford's Blues.
Well, yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you all so much, and thank you to the wonderful team here on the Salon. Thank you to Andrea for having these wonderful events, and thank you all for being such a lovely, warm, and welcoming audience. Both Josh and Roger, make sure you stick around to ask them about their fabulous music during the after party.
Thank you. We would love to ask them about their music, and I think a lot of people have questions about some of the extended techniques that were not in the flute manuals. So we're very excited to learn about that. And personally, I think that you and Karen should form a band together, and maybe invite Bill, who can add some Tibetan rock and take it on the road.
Perfect.
That was fabulous. Thank you so much. Lindsay Goodman, everybody.
Thank you.
Everyone, you can donate to the artists by clicking on the link in the chat, and every little bit helps. We're now moving into the space of performance art with a beautifully gifted choreographer and composer, Tatjana Tenenbaum, who employs breath, voice, fascia, and musculature to excavate spaces of memory, power, and transformation. Her work sits at the juncture of experimental music and dance, and has been described as rich polyphony by The New Yorker. She's been commissioned and presented by numerous theaters, universities, and festivals. Tatjana sees her multidisciplinary work within a lineage of musical theater, a cultural site of assimilation, invention, violence, and resiliency for her Jewish ancestors who settled in New York City. We met at Yaddo during a residency just before COVID, and I was very taken with her work. This will be her second performance on the Zalon's virtual stage. Tatjana will perform a solo, and I'm not sure if she'll speak about it, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It's a solo for voice, movement, microphone, memory, and textile in conversation with her paternal grandmother, Selma, from her home in New York. Let's welcome Tatjana Tenenbaum.
Everybody who's performed tonight, thanks for having me. So I'm working on a solo in conversation with my paternal grandmother, Selma. I am working with an interview that I did with her when I was 10 on a cassette tape, and it feels a little too vulnerable and personal to share in this virtual space, but it is part of what I'm bringing tonight, and I'm going to share some textures of my own writing and response in conversation with ideas around intergenerational memory and healing. Selma is my grandmother who was not born in this country. She chose her birthday and her name. She told me that she was raised with her parents speaking to her in Jewish, which was Yiddish. But when I met her, she had this very classic transatlantic accent. She was a pretty old grandmother to me, so I haven't been with her in this lifetime for many years now. That's Selma, and here I am in Brooklyn, the homeland of the Lenape people. Just one quick thought. I've noticed that when I'm sort of in between things, I'm moving my hips or my spine or like parts of my body that are kind of like newly mobile. They're just like we are working it out. We really feels like a we, doesn't it? Doesn't really feel like a me anymore. I don't know. I feel like I'm rehearsing all the time. In the strangest times too. Like, I don't know, just in between things. Which over the past 6 months, this year, I'm moving parts of my spine that I never knew deserved to move or ever. I don't know if I was born this way or when the shock hit my system, when that seizing up started, but I feel like I'm being born again. And like there's no limit, but it's slow. It's slow that there's still so much I can't feel and can't sense, but at the same time I know it's gonna be okay. With my processes, I kind of like leave myself for last and I focus on everything and everyone else. But this time, it's supposed to be a solo, so like I can't really do that. I have to face myself. Actually, like as I'm recording this, I'm doing the thing I was describing. Like I'm doing a sort of like figure eight with my pelvis and spine. It's like a sense of possibility that belongs to us. We want to move. So then, like, once something gets set into motion, you don't have to kind of obsess, or I don't feel that I have to obsess, and better if I don't, because it's kind of going on in the background. Like integration is also part of our birthright. It's that thing where, like, you know, I am not like coaching myself through how to walk, like my body just knows. And so I'll find my way. Somatic trainings that address this sort of thing. I'll find my way. I feel the power. I'll pass. I'll find my way. When I go on stage, I used to feel this kind of like lightning. Find my way. Go through it, but I'll find my way. I'll pass. I'll find living is enough. Not here. They won't let us be. Then we'll go away. Somehow. Someday. Touch the moon. Touch the silence. I bet you never put your arm down in that corner. This is heavy. I am pulling myself up. Wanna splay my guts all over the place. I am waiting for propulsion to take me over. I am strong, and this will not hurt to drop my ambition. No, I do this all for gravity. I wanna feel the silence. This is my projection, this is my invention. I'm the one who is sinking. I'm the gravity in the corner. I wanna cry, but I wanna cry, but I have no ambition. Thank you.
What a beautiful voice.
Bravo.
Brava, thank you. Your performances are always so honest and real. I mean, you make yourself vulnerable, and you show that to us. You give your heart to us. So thank you so much for that. And you bring us into our bodies. We need to drop in. Thank you. There's more I could say, but I think we're going to move on now, and we'd love to talk to you afterwards. It's just such a great pleasure to have you here. Thank you. Tatiana Tenenbaum. I apologize, everybody. I changed the order by mistake. So I didn't forget about John Byrne. I just had it reversed in my mind. So John, I apologize if you were just, raring to go. Guitarist, vocalist, songwriter John Byrne will perform from a rehearsal space in Fairmount, Philadelphia, several songs written during the pandemic for a 2022 record release. And really thrilled to have John. He's performed here, his Irish influenced music, and he plays with a full band. Tonight he's playing solo. For those of you in Philly, he will be at the World Cafe Live on March 5th. So please do go check out John Byrne live in person with his band. I'd love to welcome John Byrne.
It's an incredible honor to be included alongside such absolutely brilliant artists. I've just been in awe all night of the people I've seen. And I think I have to steal Scot Sax's sound soul boot idea. So mostly I think I just want to wear it to the supermarket. But anyway, I want to do one new song and one slightly older song. This one is definitely written during the pandemic, and I can only really describe it as a love song inspired by misinformation, I suppose. Simply, it's about remembering what's important, and it's just called World of Make Believe. I don't need to stop and read the signs, I know them well. And I don't need to stop and read your eyes to see myself. We've got today, the rest can wait. And in a world of make-believe, we'll make it through. To faith in someone is the only gift worthwhile. To completely trust, completely love, to give your life. This is now, no coming down. And in a world of make-believe, we'll make it through. My only one, my gift in every song. And in a world of make-believe, we'll make it. In a world of make-believe, we'll make it. In a world of make-believe, we'll make it. Me and you. Thank you again. I just want to do one other song. It's a little bit of a longer one, and I wanted to include it because it's felt so appropriate over the last months and I guess years now at this point. With so many people suffering losses, I wanted to do this one. Essentially, the song's about my wife's mother, who passed away when my wife was just a child, and it's really about though just leaving yourself open to having lost loved ones come and visit you, but leaving yourself open to their faces and their smiles and their words and their whispers and allowing them to comfort you. The lady in question is Patsy Marr, and the song is simply called To Patsy. Tonight the forest is gently laughing in a long gone summer breeze. A familiar soul again is passing, of the woman whose heart outgrew these trees. Does anyone else here remember Patsy? Does anyone remember her but me? 'Cause tonight I'm gonna close these doors and play guitar till early morning, sing to Patsy. Mother said, be careful what you're wishing. Mother said, no man is what he thinks. Mother said, never marry an electrician, especially if he drinks. Does anyone else here remember Patsy? Does anyone remember her but me? 'Cause tonight I'm gonna close these doors and play guitar till early morning, sing to Patsy. Sister says, again you've broken water. Sister says, aren't 4 children enough? Every day I have to see you in your daughter, and no one should be expected to be this tough. Does anyone else here remember Patsy? Does anyone remember her but me? 'Cause tonight I'm gonna close these doors and play guitar till early morning and sing to Patsy. Tonight the forest is gently laughing in a long gone summer breeze. A familiar soul again is passing, of the woman whose heart outgrew these trees. Does anyone else here remember Patsy? Does anyone remember her but me? Does anyone else here remember Patsy? Won't you all raise a glass with me? 'Cause tonight I'm gonna close these doors and Play guitar till early morn and sing to Patsy. Thank you.
Wow. Nice tunes, man. Nice tunes.
Thank you, Andrea. Thanks for having me. Thank you, Gerardo and Alex as well for the sound. You guys are brilliant. You really helped me this week. I hope it came across okay.
It came across wonderful. And before you go, I just want to put a plug in for your previous CD, A Shiver in the Sky, which he released just before the pandemic, but it seems like so
some genius marketing right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So please do follow John Byrne. And if you're here in Philly, March 5th at World Cafe Live, I'm going to try to make it too. Thank you so much, John. Wonderful to have you back.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
And everybody, before we go to the last, certainly but not least performer, a reminder to everyone that you can make a tax-deductible donation using the link in the chat. That link can also be found on zalonarts.org. Thank you for helping support these fantastic artists tonight. Also, a reminder to please have your drink of choice ready for our customary virtual toast and artist chat following this last performance. I know that many of the artists will be on, although Noemi had to go to bed. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, her time. Before we close this evening, I would like to make a dedication to a very special musician who sadly passed away in a car crash just a couple of days ago. His name is Alex DePew. He's a violinist with the wonderful DePew brothers. They're all violinists and performed as a band. And Alex was really a force on the violin, performing classical, jazz, and even rock with Steve Vai. Anyway, he sadly passed away in a car crash a few days ago. And so I feel like this next piece that Michael Furman is going to play is prayerful, and I just wanted to acknowledge Alex and send my condolences to his family, all of the DePews. Our next performer is master shakuhachi player Michael Furman. Michael premiered a work of mine last fall with the Fourth Coast Ensemble, and I was very taken by his playing, and it feels just right to end this colorful cornucopia of music tonight with the soulful sacred prayers of the shakuhachi. Michael Furman has been studying shakuhachi since 1993. He started his studies with Michael Furuta, and after meeting Grandmaster Michael Gould at the World Shakuhachi Festival in Boulder, Colorado, Michael began studies with him. His interests in the flute vary greatly, although his focus is on traditional Japanese music, and he's been awarded ranks of traditional teaching and traditional master's degree. Michael will play a piece of solo shakuhachi music from the Buddhist tradition. The piece is titled Daha, or Pounding Wave Prayer. Let's welcome Michael Furman, closing our beautiful evening with the sounds of the shakuhachi from his home in Naperville, Illinois.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for having me here, Andrea. Yes, I'm going to play a piece from the Buddhist tradition. It is a prayer of sorts. All the pieces from this particular tradition are prayers, or you can think of them as meditations. They're based on mostly on chanting the sutras, but they also incorporate nature sounds. This particular piece is called Daha, and I'll talk a little bit more about the piece after I play it. But it's the thing you should think about when you're listening to it is actually two things. One is waves breaking up against the seashore or breaking through, and then Buddhist monks chanting. So the piece is sort of based on those two elements, and it means a little bit more than that, at least from its title. So without further ado, Daha. Daha. Daha, as I said, means breaking waves, or waves breaking against the beach. And the words da actually means break or to strike, and ha means it means wave, but it's actually, the pronunciation of ha is the Chinese pronunciation of the character, to be a little more poetic. They often title these pieces with sort of a poetic verb, you know, of some sorts or another. And the Japanese pronunciation of the same character would be name, like in tsunami, so wave. At any rate, this week sometime, I don't know if you know this, but there was a Buddhist monk a very famous Buddhist monk who just passed away, Thich Nhat Hanh. He was a Vietnamese monk who was living mostly in France, I guess. But he was quite influential, and he wrote quite a bit of material out there. I've read quite a bit of it, actually. And because he passed away, there's been a lot of things on the net about him. And a quote went by, and it struck me because the quote was exactly the meaning of this particular piece. So let me take a moment and just read the quote. It's pretty short. In our life as a wave, we struggle and we have fear, because we have to go up and down, to be born and to die, to exist and to not exist. But when the wave discovers it is water, then it begins to practice living as water, utterly free. So I thought that was interesting that it came up right at this time that I was going to play this particular piece. But I don't know, should I say something more about the flute, or?
I think it's a perfect place for us to end, and then if you can stay on, I'd love to talk to you a little bit more. Can we all show our appreciation to Michael Cohn?
Oh, I could get to the line.
And thank you for that beautiful quote about our fluidity, and that we're all connected. So I'd like to thank all the performers for a deeply inspiring evening, and hurrah to the amazing Zalon team. If you could, there, thank you. I'd love to ask the tech team to spotlight themselves and receive our accolades. And let's unmute our microphones and give some love to Gerardo Razumny, Alex.
Thank you.
Bravi, you have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. They're masters. And so just thank you so very much. Everybody, the next Zalon will be on February 20th. And that program features performers in Mexico, Argentina, and around the US. If you're not on the Salon list and you'd like to receive the updates with the links, please email me, and my address is on my website, andreaclearfield.com. So one more round of applause to all the performers.
My toast.
Everybody, all the performers.
Everybody got their wine and whiskey.
Their single malt to art, health, community, life.
Get the mute, folks.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers.